And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Out west, there are winter storm warnings for the Yukon Delta, St. Lawrence Island, Seward Peninsula, and the western Arctic coast here from Point Lay to Cape Lisburne and Point Hope. And that's for several inches of snow to fall beginning tonight here to the south and then extending into Monday morning all the way up to the Arctic coast up there. Otherwise, winter weather advisories for snow for the NOAA Valley and Nome over toward Elam and White Mountain and those areas to Koyukuk on down to Unalakleet, St. Michael, I believe, and then just west of McGrath. And for the satellite imagery, next system pushing a lot of moisture again today. Thicker clouds in over south central Alaska, back to the west and streaming northward here up toward the mid and upper Yukon River Valley areas. Just some cirrus over the eastern part of the state here. And otherwise, northerly flow pulling colder air southward for snow showers from the Pribilof Islands down to the eastern Aleutians, and then some more cloudiness with another system out over the western Aleutians, and dry conditions over the southeast coast with some areas of sunshine there. And rolling this once again, you can see this moisture moving from south to north. You can also see it tracking slowly eastward. This will be making headway in toward the southeast coast here over the next 24 hours. On the chart, roughly in this position at mid-afternoon today, into northern Bristol Bay and just passing Kodiak Island after bringing 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts from the east and southeast, and Kodiak State Airport picking up over an inch of rain during the day today, and good precipitation up into the southwest interior here, turning to snow in the colder air over the Yukon Delta and Nunivak Island, down across the Pribilofs, rain and snow for the eastern Aleutian areas, dry with some light wind conditions over the northern and eastern part of the state, and again a lot of sunshine, clear skies, and light winds down across the Panhandle. That continues tonight. There'll be some clouds, variable clouds for the southeast coast, tending to increase late tonight along the coastline there, but the front's still way back to the west here, edging northward, or almost kind of stalling out across Kodiak Island and northern Bristol Bay. Look for snow and areas of blowing snow for the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, spreading into eastern Norton Sound, and some flurries up over the north slope in the Arctic coast, otherwise dry over the remainder of interior Alaska, and some scattered snow showers out over the western Bering Sea, finding their way southward to Adak and Atka over toward Shimia. And then for tomorrow, low pressure tracks into western Bristol Bay. The front not making much northern headway here, kind of again stalled out across Kodiak Island, weakening and elongating eastward, and now by late in the day bringing a chance of rain right along the southeast coast with increasing clouds over the inside water areas, especially in the afternoon toward evening. Still partly sunny skies possible for the Copper River Basin, better chance of some sunshine up over the central and eastern Tanana Valley and northeast interior, and quite an area of snow now over the west coast areas or the western part of the state here, with several inches falling from the Kuskokwim Delta northward all the way up to the western Brooks Range, and then extending east-northeastward there to the north slope in the Arctic coastal areas. And again, gusty northerly winds, pretty strong, gusts 50 miles an hour, St. Lawrence Island out of the north, and then that kind of diminishing as you head south here, but still cold enough for basically just snow showers scattered across the Aleutians, and more continuous snow for the eastern Aleutians. And for the day on Monday, rain and snow over the Kuskokwim Delta into Bristol Bay, as well as the Alaska Peninsula area, with low pressure now, new low developing and moving over the Yukon Delta. That'll produce several more inches of snow on Monday in that area, extending up across the Seward Peninsula into Kotzebue Sound. This area kind of breaks off and keeps snow going over the central and eastern North Slope and Arctic coastal areas. Cloudy in the central interior, mostly cloudy on the east side with a few sun breaks going on. And this front kind of edging northward continues to weaken, but comes northward here towards southern Cook Inlet. That'll keep skies cloudy for south central Alaska, with rain from Turnagain Arm eastward into Prince William Sound and the North Gulf Coast, and generally cloudy skies for the Matanuska-Susitna Valley areas. Better chance of precipitation over toward the eastern slopes of the western Alaska Range. And now we have rain covering all of the southeast coast, extending back up toward Yakutat into Cordova, but not making much headway past the Coast Range, so the Copper River Basin staying dry. And for those tonight, it's upper 20s, lower 30s, northern Panhandle to about mid-30s to the south, 15 for Gulkana, 30 at Talkeetna, and 30s all the way west here until you get out to the southwest coast and you're in the mid to upper 20s. Below zero for the western Arctic coast. Highs for Sunday afternoon, 45 to 50. Warmest around Fairbanks, could see 50, 51, maybe even 52 in some places there. A very nice day coming up, and lower to mid 40s even with the clouds here for south central Alaska to Kodiak Island. Upper 40s for king salmon there, Dillingham, call it 42. Off to the east here as you arrive in Juneau, 46 would be an afternoon high, 50 at Klawock. And for the lows, Monday morning, coldest western Arctic coast, a little below zero there, as well as the North Slope. And warmest conditions over the Panhandle here, down south, lows near 40, with mid-30s for Kodiak Island, and in the 30s for south central Alaska, upper teens for the Pribilof Islands. And then for highs on Monday afternoon, mid-40s for the Tanana Valley now, and single numbers for the western Arctic coast coming southward here into King Salmon, mid-40s, about the same for Kodiak, and mid-40s for south central Alaska and the Panhandle.
Alaska Broadcasters, National Weather Service, and Alaska Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management will be conducting a test of the tsunami warning system Wednesday, March 27th at approximately 10:20 a.m. This test will be conducted for portions of coastal communities in southeast Alaska, the Kenai Peninsula, Kodiak, the Aleutian, and Pribilof Islands. Audio on TV will indicate it's a test, but what viewers see on their television screens may not. Go to ready.alaska.gov to report your test reception. This test will be canceled in the event of any significant seismic activity.